Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to a Monday edition of the Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin back with you once again. Glad to be with you here on this beautiful October day, October 6, 2014. You couldn't ask for better weather than this, Tom Schmitz, and it makes you want to go out and take a boat ride or a walk or go fishing or something. It's not a day to be indoors.
No, definitely not a day to be indoors. I'm up.
All right, okay.
Definitely not a day to be indoors right now, but this morning when I woke up at 6:30,
Chilly.
It wasn't chilly. It was cold.
48.
Okay, I don't need all that.
Yeah, 48 where I was. And it's all right. It feels good. I like it. It's a little brisk. It's not cold. You don't know cold. It's not cold. But anyway.
What do you mean? I lived in the North Carolina mountains where we got 28 inches of snow in 24 hours.
Well, you got out of there pretty quick, too. So
quick.
So it's good to be with you on this Monday. What a weekend. If you like college football, it's hard to imagine it being better than it was Saturday. I plugged in the game day starting at 9 and didn't turn it off until midnight. A complete wall-to-wall day. Fortunately, my wife was out of town, and I watched football all day long, and it did not disappoint. Arguably one of the great Saturdays in the great history of college football. And where do you even begin? But all the terrific SEC games, saw the upsets. My goodness, we had 4 of the top 6, and I think 5 of the top 10 who got beat, and it's just
wasn't it 11 of the top 25?
Could have been. I mean, there's all kind of numbers here, but to have 4 of the top 10, that's amazing, and especially when you start at 2 and go down to 6. So the Florida Gators managed to win a football game, and now the bad news is they've lost the quarterback, apparently, that won it for them.
So yes, Jeff Driscoll's out?
Not Jeff Driscoll. And if you were with me, and I was one of the ones, those of you who follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you want to, I think it's Buddy's show, I believe, on Twitter. And you know, I started tweeting about midway through the third quarter, together, all at once, Gator Nation, Treon Harris. You got to play the kid, and I've been talking about it now, as others have, for about 2 weeks. At least put a series in for him, get him in the game, get him ready, because Jeff Driscoll is not getting the job done. Love Jeff Driscoll. Think he's a great kid. He's got terrific skills, not getting the job done. Sometimes just a change, even though the skills may be the same, is what you need. And they needed a change down 9-0, and Will Muschamp warmed Treon Harris up on the sidelines and then didn't put him in the next series. And I could hear the Gator Nation groaning collectively about that. And so what happens? They put Treon Harris in the game, and about 4 plays, he scored. He didn't score the touchdown. The running back scored the touchdown, but he made it happen immediately. Threw a nice touch pass that got him down there, comes back, next series, drives him down there, field goal. Score 10-9, final 10-9. The guy who saved Will Muschamp's job, Treon Harris, however, is, as we speak, no longer on the team. This gets to be like a Shakespearean tragedy. Whether you are a Will Muschamp fan or not a Will Muschamp fan is irrelevant, because what's happened to this guy, and albeit much of it in his own hand, shouldn't happen to the worst coach in America. He's got a black cloud over his head, like the character in Little Abner. It just doesn't ever go away. And on the other hand, it's his game to manage. It's his quarterback. It's his team. He has to make decisions, and somebody finally came to his senses and put Treon Harris in the game, and the results were obvious. However, the news broke this afternoon. Treon Harris, and Tom, you got the story in front of you there, now has been arrested, not charged, and I don't think he's in prison or in jail yet, with, I guess the charge is going to be domestic violence or something along those lines. He, however, has been suspended temporarily from the team.
Well, he hadn't been arrested yet.
Yeah. Well, he's He got in trouble.
No, he hadn't been. He hadn't been in trouble. He's under investigation. There's no.
Okay, so
there's
he's not
no
arrested.
There's no arrest or anything. He's been accused.
But he has been suspended.
He's been suspended indefinitely. There's an ongoing investigation by the University of Florida Police and the Gainesville Police Department. He's been accused of sexual assault. University of Florida Police Department is investigating the incident. The Gainesville Police Department is helping with collection of forensic evidence. This happened early Sunday morning after the team returned from the University of Tennessee football game, and it happened at an on-campus housing area. Or allegedly happened at an on-campus housing area. So he has not been arrested yet, but he is under investigation and has been accused by a female of sexual assault.
Call down there right after the game, obviously a celebration after the game, and the details are a little sketchy, but the president leaped right in there, and the school sent the announcement, made the release of the about him, and that speaks to the issue that obviously they're not going to tolerate anything that has to do with domestic violence or anything involved with women, which has been in the news so much lately. He's been his attorney is Huntley Johnson, who I know has been done a lot of work for the University of Florida players. He, by the way, is not hired by Florida. Each player has to have their own attorney, and they have to pay for it. So, and Bernie Manchin said, we have no tolerance for sexual assault on our campus, he said. So even though he hasn't been charged and he has not been arrested, the University of Florida, being very proactive, now has suspended him from the team.
Right, and GPD says they're not the lead here. The University PD is, and that they're just there for forensic purposes. And Huntley went on to say in this story I'm reading from ESPN, we are representing him and we are cooperating with the investigation. I'm hopeful he will never be arrested regarding this case.
Well, it would certainly be a big break because I've said this kid all along fits this offense better than Jeff Driscoll. Jeff Driscoll needs to go ahead and play out this year, then graduate and transfer, and goes to play for Urban Meyer or whoever else. His skills are without question. I mean, he was drafted in Major League Baseball. He's got a terrific arm. He's got good legs. He just has lapse in judgment, and he's too slow to react. And I think this offense requires a quick response, and Treon Harris showed in a short period of time he can get that job done. Gets the ball delivered on time, makes quick decisions, and even he didn't have the experience, obviously, that the guy like that Driscoll does. So we will see.
Well, now do you go back to Driscoll, or do you give Will Greer a shot?
I think Will Greer's injured.
Is he?
I think he's still got a back sprain. But yeah, you go back to Driscoll. You got to go back to Driscoll. He's your second-string quarterback. I mean, in fact, he is yet to be named. I mean, Harris had not been named starter.
That's right.
So
Will
technically, Driscoll is still the quarterback.
Right. We'd work it out this week.
Yeah, so we'll address that. They had a press conference today. They expected to name him the starter, and they said, hold on, we're not having that. So,
well, I know that in this day and age of hypervigilance, because of the recent with Jameis Winston and with Ray Rice, the recent sexual assault allegations and the recent domestic abuse situations, that they're hyper vigilant on doing this. So, there's still a lot. This onion's still got a lot of layers to be peeled off of it.
Yeah, as you said, Huntley Johnson said he hopes he's never arrested. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if he's not arrested and still being investigated, and whether he gets back on the team or not. On the program today, and we'll talk about a couple of things coming up you should know about. First of all, Kimberly's Cottage is a very special place for children who've been sexually abused or taken. It's a wonderful organization, locally, just here, funded locally. And Dan McCall will be in with Jenny Martinez. She's director of the fundraising for Kimberly's Cottage. Talk about great causes. That's one. They'll be here at 3:35, and they'll tell us about Kimberly's Cottage, what's going on. Also, Mark Cummins and Kevin Sheely team up to bring us the Learn Lead event coming up on Friday at Church of Hope. It's not a religious thing. It's the business community's put it on. This is L2, Learn and Lead, and it's we just got a testimony from Mark Rice, who was in here filming a little video about what a great resource John Maxwell is. He says he's read his books. He uses them to teach, where he taught at Vanderbilt for a long time. He says, I'll probably go to that because John Maxwell, and along with two other people, by the way, who are going to be on the program via streaming, So it's free. It's coming up on Friday, and Mark and Kevin will be here to talk to us. And then at 5 o'clock today, we'll have to hear from Rachel Barbaro. She's the sideline reporter for the ACC, does a talk show in Alabama. And so she knows all about Alabama-Auburn and a good deal about the ACC. We'll ask her about what a phenomenal game is coming up now. Mississippi State is going to take on Auburn this weekend, and this out of this will come the potential one of the top 4 teams. Right now, I like Auburn's chances, but we'll see. Mississippi State, a big win over the weekend. If you didn't get that, boy, that was a tremendous weekend, and they just hammered Texas A&M. And a good game, a really good game, of course, between Ole Miss and Alabama. We'll get there and talk about this. All that's happening on this program. Stay tuned. More coming your way, including a little bit of abbreviated Dr. Buddy right here in the voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a 6th-generation Ocalan. I practiced law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike's Got Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey.
In Here.
Are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike's Got Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike's Got Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand
the
me
only
that.
thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department
Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Don't miss Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with your hosts, Francois Cousinet and Julianne Cousinet. They'll be giving you information about your retirement funds and answering your questions with live call-in. So don't miss it, Saturdays from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM. Marion Veterinary Hospital wants to remind you that according to the ASPCA, 31% of dogs entering shelters are euthanized. Visit one of our shelters and bring home a new, loving companion. These animals offer unconditional love, and for each adoption in October, Marion Veterinary Hospital will give a free microchip so that your new friend can find its way home if lost. Call Marion Veterinary Hospital at 867-5553 or visit them just off Maricamp Road, south of Jervy Gant Park.
Coming up 3:33, Dan McCall, Jennifer Lopez, Kimberly's Cottage. Talk about that, 4 o'clock.
J-Lo's going to be here?
No, it's not J-Lo.
You said Jennifer Lopez. Huh?
No. Did I say J-Lo? I said
Jennifer Lopez.
Did I really? Well, maybe she is going to be here.
I didn't know.
No. Jennifer Martinez will be
Jennifer
here.
Martinez.
Yes.
Okay. I was getting excited. You said Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Martinez will be here along with Dan McCall and talking about Kimberly's Cottage. You hear this almost every day. It seems like somebody's passed away that you know somebody's famous. We had a couple of fairly famous in the last 48 hours. One of them whose name you will not know, but you'll know who it is when you hear the commercial. The other one whose music you probably would know. And Tom Schmitz, which one are you going to play first?
Well, we got Paul Revere.
Well, you were supposed to say that who it was. You were supposed to play the music.
Oh, well, see, I messed that all up already.
All right,
I don't have Paul Revere music pulled up.
Oh, you don't?
No.
All right, well, then why
I
play
was
it?
going to talk about Paul Revere, the 60s rock band Paul Revere and the Raiders. He died Saturday at his home. He was 76 years old. His real name was Paul Revere Dick, according to a biography. He was the front man that performed in a three-cornered hat and other clothing harking back to the American Revolution. Now, you remember Paul Revere and the Raiders?
Yeah, well, not big for me. He was not big with me. I always wonder why he didn't call himself the Midnight Riders, but that's another.
Right. And then this guy here, who was one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, you don't know who he said when you said Jeffrey Holder, but you'll know this on the commercial.
Jeffrey Holder passed away this weekend.
Yeah.
And this was one of my favorite guys in the 80s.
Yeah.
All of these soft drinks have caffeine, all of them. Surprised? Now you can't see it or smell it, but oh yes, it's there. 7-Up is light and refreshing, crisp and clean, and no caffeine. Never had
He got a famous voice.
Never had it,
Yeah.
never will.
Yeah, he was a very iconic figure in that regard.
I loved what he said, never had it, never will.
Yeah, that's a commercial played for years and years and years. So, how old was he, by the way? Do you know?
Jeffrey Holder, let me look.
Probably 72, I'm guessing. 73.
I'll get that.
Well,
for you
fine.
real quick.
All right. Meanwhile, story about gay marriage. Supreme Court cleared the way for gay marriage in 5 states. Supreme Court on Monday denied review in all 5 pending same-sex marriage cases, clearing the way for such marriages to proceed in Indiana, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin. The move was a surprise and suggests the justices are not going to intercede in the way for decisions in favor of same-sex marriage, at least until a federal appeals court upholds the state ban.
Right.
So it's kind of reversed there.
Right. The Supreme Court said they're not going to listen to it. It ultimately is going to open up about 36 states with same-sex marriage.
Yep.
Hey, and Jeffrey Holder, 84.
84. Boy, he looked good, didn't he?
He did look good for 84. Yeah. Jeffrey Holder, 84 years old.
Of course, that was 25 years ago, but still looked good. All right, then we're going to, in the interest of time, because we got a guest coming here in a few minutes, let's get a little Dr. Buddy in here, and then I'll tell you about today's wacky.
I got a good story, too, I want to tell you about. It's a story about writing, so I want to see if you...
Well, you want to go now? Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it real quick. It won't take very long. There's a lawsuit.
A lawsuit?
Yep. That is going on between, let me give you the names of the guys, author Dow Seidman, who is in the business of helping companies create more ethical cultures, and Chobani Yogurt, because Chobani Yogurt is using the slogan, how matters.
I've heard about this lawsuit.
And he says Hal matters is his, and he's suing because he says he has the rights to the word Hal. Now, what when you talk about adjective, noun, verb, and what's Hal? Hal's a conjunction, right? Is it a conjunction?
No.
It's an adverb.
Probably an adverb, I think.
So this man's saying he has the trademark to Hal. H-O-W.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a writer, please tell me you got a problem with this.
Well, of course, I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can trademark a word.
Well, you just said Hal 3 times. You owe him money.
I don't know how you can say
he's suing you.
Yeah. There are phrases. I mean, remember the Pat Riley and the three-peat?
Three-peat. Mm-hmm. But that's a word he created. I don't understand.
No, it's not the words. Well, sort of created.
I don't understand how he could say he owns the word Hal, H-O-W.
Well, it's crazy. It would never stand up in a court of law.
Well, why is the court even hearing this argument? They've set a trial date. And they're at trial over it right now.
There's got to be more to it than that.
He says that it messes with his brand that he's built over the last 10 years. That he's the how guy, not the how-to guy. And because he's the how guy, this infringes on his trademarking. And how is an adverb? You're right.
It's not an adverb. I'm looking it up here now.
It says right now. I got it on dictionary.com.
Why does it say
how?
Here?
Adverb.
That's what I look through a list of adverbs here. It's not listed, but I think it's an adverb. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what dictionary.com says. It's an adverb.
Okay. All right.
But I just don't understand why this guy thinks he can trademark the word how.
Well, I guess the court of law will figure that out, right? Let's go to Dr. Buddy here and get that in before our guests get here a little bit. Dr. Buddy has a little bit of a short one today. People have these relationships, and you have a relationship, and you get into it, and pretty soon you want to kind of come to some kind of agreement about how to act, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And a lot of people like to have a list of rules. I don't know that I would like a list of rules.
Where are you going to put them on, like the wall?
Well,
so
in this case,
them?
this couple put them in the bathroom.
Seriously?
Yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, you don't need a bunch of rules. I mean, you just need common decency, good judgment, kindness, and work it out on a game by game.
Never go to bed mad.
Well, yeah, right. And so this is one particular woman's list of how she and her husband, or actually fiance, live their lives. And I get where they're coming from. They want to try to do this. To me, this is over-defining. This is overthinking the relationship. But see what you think. None of these are bad. It's just you have to have a list for this. Number one, warm hug after we brush our teeth each day.
Why do you got to wait till after you brush teeth? Why can't you do it when you first wake up?
Not before. Get that bad mouth. 2, good idea here, but why do you need a rule? Take responsibility for when you're wrong. That just goes without saying, doesn't it?
Well, I would never have to take responsibility for that.
There you go. And you probably don't. Talk, love, and forgive mistakes.
Yes.
Depends on the mistake.
Well, yeah. If the mistake is falling into somebody else's bed,
not so much. Date night once a week. We read something about said, why do you have to have a date night? I mean, come on. You should just take your wife
out.
Yeah. I guess you need a reminder. Here's one. This is a woman. Give my fiance guy time. But a month's a ball game, I guess. Guy time.
I guess.
I don't know. No snooping through texts and calls. And that's a pretty good rule.
That's a pretty good rule. Because that'll get you. That's a good rule.
That'll get you both in trouble. I mean, it leads to nowhere.
Especially if you take something out of context.
I don't think it's not you're hiding something. It's just you're saying, I don't trust you. I'm checking up on you.
Taking stuff out of context, too, is a bad thing.
Yeah. Show love throughout the day. Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
If you're not doing that, why are you together?
Well, you need a list. Finally, these two, always, no matter what, have each other's back. Yes, I hope so.
Okay.
Think before buying a gift and think again. No, just buy the gift.
Buy the gift.
What the heck?
By the way, that one that you just read, have each other's back.
Yeah.
I know of no other relationship I've ever witnessed in my life where the man's back is covered more than Miss Joni has yours. To the point of where Let somebody talk smack about Buddy Martin.
Well, she will punch you. All right. Hold hands from out and about. Okay. I mean, you need a rule for that. Now, this is good. We pray for each other. I hope you do that anyway. And finally, make each other laugh at least once per day. I don't guess these are rules. This is just sort of run-of-the-mill suggestions about how to have a relationship, I guess.
So I could tickle my girlfriend, make her laugh. That works?
I guess, whatever excites you. Probably not going to have time for this wacky Florida story today, but
imagine that wacky Florida story.
I won't. It's about I won't have time for it.
Imagine a wacky Florida
Some
story.
guy who went to pick up his kid and picked the fight. Anyway, I'll let that go for today. We ain't got time to do that. So once again, bottom of the hour, Jennifer Martinez and Dan McCall will join us. Kimberly's Cottage. If you don't know what it is, I suggest you look it up. It's something that really speaks to an issue in our community. Abused children, what happens to them? Coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Being the Culligan man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate alone.
Fumble! I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Gay couples get the go-ahead to tie the knot in 5 states thanks to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Virginia, Indiana, Utah, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma all had same-sex marriage bans struck down by federal appeals courts, and the U.S. Supreme Court isn't changing that. The denial by the court will make it legal for same-sex couples to wed in 30 states.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. The 5th American diagnosed with Ebola during the West Africa outbreak is now at the Nebraska Medical Center, where Dr. Brad Brittigan outlines part of the treatment.
Giving lots of fluids and monitoring the blood chemistries very, very closely because they can change very rapidly.
An Ebola patient in Dallas remains in critical condition. Turkey says NATO has drawn up a strategy to defend the country if it's attacked along its border with Syria. ISIS militants are trying to capture a Syrian town near Turkey. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You've packed your family of 8 in a 5-person car, packed a week's worth of groceries into one bag, and when your wife says the dishwasher's full, you just laugh. But are you up for the challenge when there's 20% off on the line? Pick up our exclusive 5-gallon Napa Camo Bucket for just $2.99. Then get 20% off all the stuff you can fit in it. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. at participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Howdy, folks. Did you know you can sell your mobile home today for fast cash? That's right. You can sell your mobile home today for fast cash. Just call 1-844-BUY-MY-MH today for a cash offer on your mobile home. That's 1-844-BUY-MY-MH today for a cash offer on your mobile home. You can also visit our Fancy Pants website at www.mobilehomecashout.com. That's www.mobilehomecashout.com. We buy ugly mobile homes and the purty ones.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
I expect Dan to call up here momentarily. Just want to mention about Kimberly's Cottage one more time in case Dan doesn't get in. You don't think about this, but when children are abused in a family, there really is no place for them to go. They can't go back home. And, you don't want to have to place them in a foster home, obviously. There has to be a safe place where they can go and feel safe and loved. And there just wasn't anything like this when Kimberly Cottage came along. You'd be amazed at statistics on not only just child abuse, but domestic violence, what have you, going on right here in our county. And so not knowing all the history on Kimberly's Cottage, I was hoping, I think it's maybe called Kimberly's Center now, I'm not sure. I know it was called Kimberly's Cottage at one time, for child's protection. It's a place where as they say on the website, Marion County's compassionate response to the trauma of child abuse in a safe and friendly environment. And they don't do that. They have no other funding, by the way. They don't, this is not a federal government thing. Just to give you a little indication about what they're about on the website. Kimberly Center is Marion County's compassionate response to the trauma of child abuse in safe and child-friendly environment. Through specialized services, the smallest victims receive quality and timely care by sharing their story and beginning their path to a healthy future. Kimberly's Center can be best described by the mission: our community working together to protect, serve, and advocate for abused and neglected children. Before they had this Center for Child Protection, the whole trauma doesn't end with just the disclosure of the fact that they've been violated. Child will be repeatedly interviewed and asked to share painful details about the abuse, and it was well-intentioned, but the exhausting process further emotionally damaged the child. So in 1996, task force professionals, community leaders got together to consider a better, more sensitive way to respond to children who've been victims of physical and sexual abuse. So they just envisioned a place where hurting children could come, have a safe, friendly child environment. So Marion County's Children Advocacy Center, Kimberly Cottage was found. Kimberly Cottage now known as Kimberly Center for Child Protection. I went to a luncheon not too long ago for the Pace Center for Girls. And I heard, and I've been to several of these things. I know there are several good groups in town that do some awfully good work. And this young girl who was in really high school got up. She'd been traumatized several years ago about a family abuse situation. And she, in this case, went to Pace Center for Girls. And she talked about, she didn't know that being abused wasn't normal.
Right.
She thought that was normal. She didn't know normal until she got out of that house and realized what was happening to her. So I know that we have a lot of people who ask for our money, and I know that we don't all have a lot of money to give away or to support all the things that we'd like to support. But I think you have to make choices and either support an organization that supports Kimberly Center or support Kimberly Center. I know in my case, the church I attend does in fact support it. And they give money to them every year. So they need your help. If you care about this kind of thing, it's a very, very important thing in our community. Because, I mean, if we can't take care of our children, who in the world can we take care of? And it's dangerous out there, as we all know. So we'll hopefully get a chance to speak with Mr. McCall and Ms. Martinez, hopefully here in this half hour. Meanwhile, we're updating the story about the accusations about the quarterback at the University of Florida who was the hero Saturday. Talk about 15 minutes of fame or 10 minutes of fame. He was then literally the last, 9 minutes of the game or something?
Right.
And had such an impact on the game.
Treon Harris, you're speaking of.
Treon Harris, yeah. And it was incredible what he did. And now this is a bomb that he has been accused of sexual assault. It was details of the story is that they came to a residence hall, police did, and they had the unit out there they carry for this kind of thing, assault, and he's suspended from all activities. And the president of the university said we have no tolerance for sexual assault on our campus. He's got an attorney, Huntley Johnson, who's well known because he represents so many Gator football players, has over the years. And by the way, I know Huntley. He doesn't make a lot of money doing this, just so you know. It's not like he's getting rich on it. But he loves the University of Florida, and he also defends them to a fair trial, and he's a very good attorney. But this kid from Booker T. Washington in Miami came in, was a hero, and now look at his life. Well, you got to hope maybe, as Huntley Johnson said, we hope he's not going to be arrested at all. You got to hope that. I mean, first of all, you think, what is the kid doing? I guess we've all been 18, and when alcohol gets involved, and it's rumored that it was, we don't know that. Good things don't always happen. And like we said off the air, it's one of the most dangerous times of your life is after a big success.
You just got to make good decisions. And I know 18-year-olds don't always make good decisions, but when you're a quarterback at a very prominent college that's in the limelight 24/7, you got to make better decisions. Even if these allegations are unfounded, the fact that you put yourself in a position for these allegations to be made, you can't do that.
Well, I mean, that's the problem, the judgment of 18-year-olds. Now, when you get alcohol involved, it's impaired. It's already not very good to begin with. And so it's difficult. So anyway, that's that story, and we'll keep you up to date if it changes.
I don't know if you saw this story. You know who Jackson DeVille is?
That name sounds familiar. Why do I know that?
It's the mascot of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I heard about it. Yeah, what a dumb thing. What a dumb thing.
Good night. You know, they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers have the terrible towel.
Right.
Well, Jacksonville was carrying the mascot for the Jacksonville Jaguars on his Segway, carrying a terrible towel and a sign that says "Towels carry Ebola."
Not funny.
How's this mascot still got his job?
He may not.
You know, I would think he would have to be fired.
Well, I mean, listen, I saw Saturday Night Live the first half hour. There was a skit about Ebola in there.
I know. I didn't like that either.
And I'm thinking, I know you think it's a challenge to come up with a dark subject and find humor. It just doesn't work.
No, right now people are dying.
There's nothing funny you could say that has the word Ebola in it. Nothing.
Nothing.
And, you know, there's now talk on TNN about this was sort of a miscast somebody spoke without knowing what they're talking about, saying, well, what if ISIS was Ebola? And then someone said, what if ISIS had Ebola and could spread it?
Right.
And quickly the doctors got on and said, look, it's not something you can get on and contaminate a subway with. There has to be some physical contact and interaction. And so it's not like you can just sprinkle some Ebola and people will get sick. But it's a scary thought.
You know, speaking of ISIS and all that,
how about the teenager?
You know, I'm not a big fan of Bill Maher. Okay, well, it would be safe to say Bill Maher.
You're not a big fan of Bill Maher. I almost dropped HBO.
It'd be safe to say I'm not a fan of Bill Maher.
Mm-hmm.
I think he leans a little too far politically in the other direction from me.
Well, he leans pretty far from me.
But in a time where we don't agree with a whole lot, people don't agree with a whole lot. This weekend I saw Bill Maher, and I thought. I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with Bill Maher 100%.
That worries me about you.
Well, Bill Maher had Ben Affleck, Nicholas Crystal, Michael Steele, and Sam Harris all on.
Yeah.
And there was a little exchange between Affleck and Mayer when Affleck says, we've been sold this meme of Islamophobia where criticism of religion gets conflicted with bigotry towards Muslims as people. And that's Harris began. It's intellectually ridiculous. And then Affleck says, hold on. Are you the person who officially understands the codified doctrine of Islam? And Mayer and Harris went on to say, gross and racial is like saying, oh, you shifty with an F, Jew. And then Mayer and Bill Maher and Affleck get after each other. Well, Affleck finally says, your argument about how Islam is radical is like saying black people, you know, they shoot each other. And Mayer says, it's completely different. These people will blankety blank kill you. They don't care about you, me, or anybody else in the world but themselves. They'll kill you. And I thought, I don't agree with Bill Maher a whole lot, but Bill Maher's got this one right.
Well, it was a little extent. I saw the clip and I read the story, and Harris, the guy from I guess the New York Times, talked about it being Islam, the motherlode of bad ideas. Now, there are a lot of things about Islam we don't understand.
Certainly.
And you can't just automatically say
you can't put it all in the same wheelbarrow. Not the same. Yeah, you can't.
It's like saying all Baptists are good. You know, or whatever, or all Catholics are mediocre, or whatever it may be. There's no such thing as
we
all.
have purgatory. We can be mediocre.
Yeah, right. If you get there. See, the Mark said Islam was the only religion that acts like the mafia. They will blankety blank kill you if you say the wrong thing, draw the wrong picture, or write the wrong book. In some cases, they'll kill you just to kill you.
Right, exactly. They'll kill you just to kill you.
Yeah. And a disturbing story today was, which I heard before I got here, is that the FBI caught a 19-year-old American boy from Chicago area who had already gotten apparently a plane ticket sent to him or something to go to, I think it was Turkey, Vienna and then Turkey, and he was going to sign up for the ISIS. And he was going to be used, radicalized and used as an American who joined ISIS. And apparently there are a lot of young girls from the Middle East who are now showing up of the romantic notion of being Bonnie and Clyde, or whoever it may be.
If you saw 60 Minutes last night, I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes. I saw it this morning. The FBI director said that they know of a dozen Americans now that are in ISIS.
I liked him, by the way. I thought that interview was pretty. I saw the whole interview.
Well, he's 6'8". That's
I also talked about what happened to him as a youngster in New Jersey.
Yeah.
He and his brother were in the house, and the guy kicked the door and had a pistol.
17 years old, yeah.
He escaped. and then they called him again, and they escaped again. So obviously he wants to catch bad guys for lots of reasons. So anyway, we'll take a break, come back, play Fake or Factor. I'm not sure we're going to have make the Kimberly Center thing today. We'll catch up later with Dan McCall and Ms. Martinez. We'll be back after this time out on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris.
Eye Care Center of Ocala is centered on patient satisfaction. Our friendly doctors and staff are here to serve all of your family's eye care needs under one roof. Our optometric physicians take great pride in offering every patient the absolute best in vision care utilizing state-of-the-art technology. We're located about 2 miles west of I-75 on State Road 200. You can schedule an appointment for the Eye Care Center by going to www.eyecarecenterofocala.com or you can call us at 352-512-0560.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.thebriggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on her show In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then we'll be speaking to Peter Friedman. He's a social media visionary. He's written a book called The CMO's Social Media Handbook, a step-by-step guide for leading marketing teams in the social media world.
Joe Reichel will be in the studio on damage control. He'll be speaking about disaster restoration, your one-stop solution for damage recovery services.
And then ML Roland is coming on. She served with the San Bernardino County, California Sheriff's Office for the Bear Valley Search and Rescue, and she's written a book called Murder Off the Beaten Path. It's a search and rescue mystery novel.
Nicole Hayes is a toy expert. She'll be speaking about the hottest holiday hot toy listing, 36 playthings to bring children's imagination to life.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM,
1370 AM.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
A text from Dan McCall. He had things mixed up. Thought we were broadcasting downtown today, and so we'll get he and Miss Martinez home from Kimberly Center next week. Good cause for abused children. It's time to play Fake or Factoid. We got to find somebody Tom can beat. I don't know. This may not be it. but he'll try anything at this point. Is Patsy available, by the way? I'm sorry, no. I'm just thinking more like, the word Patsy. He needs a Patsy, but not capital P. Turn Joe's mic
I
on.
couldn't beat. No, I could beat him if his mic's not on.
Yeah, that's one way to beat him.
You want to try now? That's better. There we go.
Trying to figure out every way I can to win, buddy.
Hey, I know. So far, you're like, I don't know. You're not upholding our program very well at this point.
Well, I've been getting drubbed. I have been.
Can I sort of maybe I can call you Tom Schmitz from the morning show or something? I don't know. This guy's from the morning show. Joe Martone, Fun with Joe.
Fun with Joe.
I'm from all the shows.
And let me explain
No, you're from all the shows. That's right.
That's why I picked him today, because Robin beats him like a drum. So
yes.
I hear him.
I hear
him.
Yes.
Well, I got a good
with
feeling.
no help either. She does it all on her own.
I think Joe's going to do okay today. You ready to go?
He's talking about the call-ins.
I know. Fun with Joe. I hear it. I know.
It depends what kind of mood the caller.
Everybody knows what Fun with Joe is.
We got 2 minutes here, so we need to get
if
going.
you stop talking, we get it on. Number one, in 2005, McDonald's paid rappers to mention Big Macs in their song. They paid them $5 each time their songs were played on the radio. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fake.
Tom's correct. It's fact. Joe's down one.
Really?
It sounded dumb enough to be fact.
Number two, the Burger King Whopper is a top-selling burger in Europe. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact.
Most say fact. You may want to change. You should have, because it's fake. Joe's got 2 misses already. Come on, Joe.
Oh, dang.
Crows. Number 3, crows can remember the faces of people who have threatened or harmed them. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact.
Both say fact. Both correct. Make Tom go first, because he's
I know. He followed me.
He's going
he followed me on that one.
Tie you all the way down. All right, here we go. Tom goes first. Number 4, Ellen DeGeneres was the first stand-up comedian Johnny Carson ever asked to sit on the Tonight Show couch.
Fake.
Fake.
Tom, why would you go other way, Joe? You got to play the game. You got to go the other way to beat them. You're down 2-0.
No, but it's fake.
It's fact.
Oh,
really? Joe's out. Yes. How about you got, Tom? You got 2 misses and Joe's out?
Yeah, Joe's out.
I'm gone?
Well, you're gone, Joe. I tried to talk you off of it.
Dang it.
Try to talk you off of it.
Check that.
The final, Barbara Streisand was the last person to sing on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. Fake or fact?
Fact.
Fact.
False.
Oh,
well. Bette Midler. Don't you remember?
That's
Come
right.
on, man.
That's right. What is wrong with us
The
today?
number is the oldest cricket match in North America was played between the United States and Canada in what year?
1891.
The oldest cricket.
Oldest cricket. You got 10 seconds.
1921.
You guys are even close. 1844.
Well, that's close.
Thanks for playing, Joe. Fun with Joe, Afternoon Division. All right, coming up next, it's time to talk about Learn to Lead with Mark Cummings and Kevin Shealy right here in the Voice of College. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate alone.
Fumble!
I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
All right.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
1370 WOCA.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. The Supreme Court opts out of the gay marriage debate, paving the way for same-sex couples to say I do.
Same-sex couples in Virginia, Wisconsin, Indiana, Utah, and Oklahoma can all wed, the U.S. Supreme Court keeping in place rulings that struck down same-sex marriage bans in those states and 6 others. Supporters of those bans, like John Eastman with the National Organization for Marriage, calls the court decision bizarre.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern. The White House tries to calm fears surrounding Ebola.
The United States continues to be assessing and reassessing the procedures that are in place to safeguard the traveling public around the globe, but also the American public here at home.
Spokesman Josh Earnest. Meanwhile, victim Thomas Duncan remains critical at a Dallas hospital. ISIS raises its flag over a portion of the Turkish-Syrian border town of Kobani. The Turks say NATO has a defense plan in place if attacked. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You've packed your family of 8 in a 5-person car, packed a week's worth of groceries into one bag, and when your wife says the dishwasher's full, you just laugh. But are you up for the challenge when there's 20% off on the line? Pick up our exclusive 5-gallon Napa Camo bucket for just $2.99. Then get 20% off all the stuff you can fit in it. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome to hour 2 of the program, Voice of Ocala. Once again, apologize, Dan McCall and Miss Martinez from the Kimberly Center could not be here. Get a little mix-up in our plans. They'll be here next Wednesday. We'll talk about that fine organization. We used to be Kimberly's Cottage, now Kimberly Center. In this hour, we're going to talk about something fairly significant. Every now and then, churches do some things, I think, that are above and beyond what they normally do in a religious vein, and they step out in the community and make things happen and address issues. And one of the things I think is really, kind of neat is that the partnership that's developed between the local CEP and Church of Hope, which I believe a member of CEP now.
Yeah.
Partner. So we've asked Kevin Sheely to come back on the program. Kevin, welcome back, by the way.
Thanks, sir.
I know you have a little travel log to talk about. We'll get to that in a minute. And, of course, our friend, Pastor Mark Cummins, who is pretty excited about this. He's talked about it quite a bit from the pulpit. By the way, excellent job yesterday on your message. I'm taking notes now, Pastor. So
that's good.
Very good message yesterday. But welcome to both of you, and thanks for coming in today to talk about this L2 Learn and Lead coming up this Friday. We're going to tell you all the information, the website, the time, the price, free, by the way, and everything you need to know in the next 30 to 45 minutes you will learn about from these two gentlemen. But first, Hawaii. I'm just saying, Hawaii.
I like to call it the Ocala of the Pacific.
Okay, might be a little bit of a reach, but we get where you're going.
If he can sell that, the CEP
I look
is
while
the
I was
greatest.
gone. I look at my phone and it's 86, 87 degrees here.
Yeah.
I looked there while I was in Hawaii and the temperature was 86, 87 degrees. I saw palm trees here. I see palm trees there. I saw water. I see white. Hey, I think, this is the paradise of the east and that's paradise of the west.
Oh, wait a minute. I see a young woman in a grass skirt going by there, wasn't it, right now? So seriously, you had a nice little trip to.
It was excellent.
They're all hating you right now, but go ahead.
Well, I will tell you, we were gone for 10 days. It was actually, it's my parents. They're getting ready to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary.
Wow. That's great.
And they wanted to take their 4 kids and spouses to Hawaii. So I was more than happy to let them do that.
Yes.
So we've been in Hawaii. Just got back yesterday afternoon. And, just beautiful, beautiful place.
Oahu.
We were
Big
actually
Island,
on a cruise. So we were in Oahu, Maui, the Big Island, and Kauai.
Nice. One of the things we have on the show, we have Terry Bradshaw every week, and we have him on there for a reason. I'm kissing up to him to get to go to his home in Hawaii next summer. So I'm trying to be nice to him.
Absolutely.
I'm available if he's got a place. He says he has, but I'm having to kind of, got to work it.
Well, I will tell you, what we learned is the best time to be there is September, October. They have the fewest tourists then, less rain. It's the best weather.
No, Kevin. The best time to be in Hawaii is when it's snowing in Colorado. That's when I went. I can tell you that. Mark, you've never been, right?
I haven't been, but let me tell you, the next best time to be in Hawaii is this Saturday. It is the Ironman Championship there at Kona. So,
in fact, I sent Mark a text. We were in Kona. People were training, getting ready for Ironman. They had all the signs up, and I looked and said, "I'm glad that's not me." As I went on my way to grab a cab, but
I would think the best time to be in Hawaii is anytime you're in Hawaii.
Exactly.
Well, the Ironman. I remember the owner of the Broncos, Pat Bolin, was in the Ironman many a time. He has a place on Diamond Head, and he participated in that event many times.
Yeah, it's
the granddaddy, isn't it?
That's the World Championship.
Yeah.
So the winner is the ultimate Ironman of the world. You actually have to qualify. You have to win an Ironman event throughout the year to actually qualify in your age group to go and be in that.
Let's explain what the Ironman is, please.
It is three events. Begins with swim, 2.4 miles in the ocean. Then it's a 112-mile bike ride for your enjoyment. And then you get off the bike and run a full marathon.
Most times we would call that some type of prison camp or
insanity.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Mark can be seen here locally on his bicycle with dogs chasing after him almost every afternoon.
I'm telling you, them dogs.
Dogs are nice people, by the way. And did you see 60 Minutes last night about dogs? How smart they are now. They're finding out.
They hug you with their eyes.
Yeah, they hug you with their eyes. You see a few dogs hugging you with their eyes and their teeth.
I haven't found those dogs.
But, I have to say, in Hawaii, we're looking beautiful place. But the first place my mind went as I'm standing there, and I guess because I'm an economic developer at heart, man, they have to ship in everything here. I mean, and you could see all of the containers and everything that has to be brought there because it's a beautiful place. Mm-hmm. But if it's not grass skirts or pineapples, they don't grow it there. Or they don't make it there.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal to think about what it takes to bring in everything. Just things that we think about for daily life, what it takes to have those things.
Not closer to Asia, though. So,
they're actually close. They are. San Francisco is the closest landmass.
Yeah.
Which is just think about that in the middle, how far out there.
There you go. Okay, we've set it up now so we can't possibly be as interesting in this segment as we were the first one, but all the fun. But we are going to get to that in just a moment, and I want to go through the details. How did this idea come about, first of all?
Well, the big idea is in Ocala, we have an incredible business community. We see that in the nonprofit world, in churches and other 501c3s. A lot of great ministry, caring for people takes place in our community. And out of necessity, nonprofits go to the business leaders and ask, would you support us? And they do very generously. So the idea is, how could we reverse that? How could we walk back into our business leaders? Instead of asking them to support us, what could we do to support them? And knowing that leadership development, that's really in our partnership with the CEP, and hearing from Kevin that what most businesses are asking for in the survey is a leadership development. How can we continue to grow our team, our business? And so in our partnership with John Maxwell in the L2 conference, bringing it here, paying for all the fees, and just saying to our business community, listen, you come, bring your teams. Instead of traveling to Tampa, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Orlando, all that expense, we'll cover that here. Your employees can stay at home. You won't have hotel fees, and come learn and grow, and let us be a source of encouragement and generosity towards you, just as you've been towards us.
All right, that's Friday. We're going to give the details in just a minute on this. Kevin, we're going to take a break. I want to get back. You're an analytics guy. You like the numbers. You do all this data and research. I want to get to you where you learned this. How did you learn this from the business community that they wanted leadership?
Absolutely.
We hear it talked about a lot in this community. We talk about it on this show all the time. I'm not sure we can necessarily even define it, but I want to talk to you about how you defined it and where you got your data from, and Mark, what we hope to gain by this, and what, how is it organic? Will it grow, and so on and so forth? Good enough?
Excellent.
I mean, it's not Hawaii, but it's the best I can do. Okay.
Hey, listen.
All right. Kevin Shealy, the CP, Mark Cummins from Church of Hope. Talk more about this conference coming up Friday after this time out on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate alone.
Fumble! I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
The Marion County Seminole Club, Inc., a proud sponsor of FSU football here on The Source. For more information, contact the Marion County Seminole Club at marionseminoles.org or email them at marionseminoleclub@gmail.com.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on her show In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then we'll be speaking to Peter Friedman. He's a social media visionary. He's written a book called The CMO's Social Media Handbook, a step-by-step guide for leading marketing teams in the social media world.
Joe Reichel will be in the studio on damage control. He'll be speaking about disaster restoration, your one-stop solution for damage recovery services.
And then ML Roland is coming on. She served with the San Bernardino County, California Sheriff's Office for the Bear Valley Search and Rescue, and she's written a book called Murder Off the Beaten Path. It's a search and rescue mystery novel.
Nicole Hayes is a toy expert. She'll be speaking about the hottest holiday hot toy listing, 36 playthings to bring children's imagination to life.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Back at Voice of Ocala with Kevin Sheely, Mark Cummings. I guess the correct way alphabetically, Mark Cummings and Kevin Sheely. I don't think it really matters to you two guys. But
it doesn't matter as long as Kevin's first.
How about them Cardinals? Anyway, yeah, Kevin, we talked last segment about you approaching the business community and asking them what they would like, what could we do for them? There's a novel idea right there, Mark, as you said. Instead of saying, hey, I need some money, can you support this? What can we do to help you? And what happened from them, Kevin?
Well, twice a year we survey our partners about things of interest. And it's a pretty wide survey. Our big survey is pretty wide about different topics. But one of the areas we ask about is training. What specific things do you want training on? In fact, we even do a follow-up survey from the initial one to make sure that we're really providing the training that our partners want. We've already had more than 1,000 people go through training sponsored by CEP this year.
When you say training, though, what kind of training?
It's all over the board, and so we get the topic. So we have one. We've got one tomorrow about online advertising, how to take advantage of online marketing. And so they're asking us different topics, but the area that we always have, number one, all three surveys we've done since I've been here, has been leadership. People want leadership training for their management teams. They want it for themselves. They want it for up-and-coming employees that they see. And I think because we recognize, and this is very much a Maxwell thing, that everything rises and falls on leadership. That we can invest in technical skills in people, we can invest in computer skills, but ultimately, if we don't have leaders, if we don't have people who understand how to lead, our organizations falter. And I think we can think of all kinds of communities that suffer through that, businesses that suffer through that, churches which suffer through that. Football teams. I mean, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I think businesses certainly recognize that fact. And so anything we can do to help provide opportunities for them to train themselves and their team members on leadership and how to be effective leaders and what it means to be a leader versus a manager. I think that really is positive investment back in our businesses, and they want that.
Leader versus manager, there's a topic of doing our show on right there. But Mark, in talking about leadership, some people would say leaders are born. You're talking about training. Obviously, even the born leaders have to have training. So the question becomes is it totally organic? Can we manufacture leaders? And we say leaders, we're not just talking about your local businesses, which is good, we need that, but we're talking about our community. I would say that most people I talk to on this show say the same thing about our community, and that includes politicians and the private sector. Where is the leadership? We have some wonderful leaders, but as a core group, what I hear from people on this show, and Tom, you back me up on this, is that we need more leaders in our community. And I want to say like the old days. Everybody says like the old days. But we have had some fabulous people in this community over the years. The question is, where are they now, Mark? And so that's a long question, but my question is, can you grow them? You can train them. How do you think leaders will emerge?
Well, leaders are born like everybody else are born. Everybody has leadership quotient and potential. There's this idea that leadership is a position, that a leader is the captain of the team. He's the president of the company. The truth is, everybody walking into the mall right now, that lady and that gentleman, they are leaders. Each one leads someone. And we begin to change the paradigm that leader is somebody else. We often think leadership, why does a team or a company or a community fail in leadership? There's this idea that, they're the leader. And they say they're the leader, and then someone says, no, they're the leader. And then actually what happens is nobody's leading. So when each person takes their role in leading, so what is leadership? John Maxwell says leadership is wrapped up in one word. It's influence. When you influence somebody else, you are leading them. Leaders have the ability to see what can be. And then what we're going to learn in this conference, Learn to Lead, is that we begin asking questions. Think about this. Most of our life, we are taught in an educational environment to sit in a classroom and to listen. And whatever the teacher or professor says, we're to regurgitate it back. And then all of a sudden we graduate and walk out into a business or a company, and we're called upon to lead. Well, John has captured this in his new book, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. We've got to get back to a point where the imagination and the creativity, we begin asking, what could be? Why is this happening? Why isn't this happening? Not from a defensive posture where they did something wrong or they didn't do, but what could be in our community? What could be in our company? And that's what's going to unfold at the Leadership Conference this Friday.
And we'll get to the civics yet. And if we don't get to this segment, next segment, we'll give you the information. That's well said. Now, Kevin, to me, leading is inspiration. When someone can inspire you, first of all, you may think you know how to lead them, but unless you inspire them or motivate them, they're not going to follow. So in that regard, some people are just natural born leaders. Sure. So how do you funnel that into one place? And how do you make that work? And and then the other thing is, how do you find leaders? If you then what do you do after you find them?
Absolutely. Buddy, I think the second part is the really more important piece. And you started off this segment about, do we have leaders in our community? It seems like back in the day we had this leader or that leader, and maybe we don't have those now. And I think there was for many years, there was an expectation that leaders, business leader, community leaders would help train future business leaders, community leaders. And you were expected as a young, rising business person, civic leader, to get engaged and to do. And that changed somewhere, and I would say we could probably go back to the early 80s, and there was a switch where there was less concern about community impact and more concern about the business. And our business community in particular started to withdraw because they were so busy doing their business, they got less engaged. And I think we really see that in our communities across the country, is that we don't have that leadership there. Because it hasn't been developed for a good 40, 30 years now. We haven't been developing those leaders. Some people, it's like athletes. Some are just naturally born athletes. They're so gifted. But then, you have to have a coach. They have to go to camps. They have to learn how to refine those gifts, how to be that. And we've been talking about football. We have quarterback camps, and they're learning how to refine that talent that they have. We have to use that with leaders, understanding how to refine the talents they have. And I think Mark's absolutely right. Everyone has leadership potential, but it hasn't been brought out as it. Has it been trained? Have they been taught how to use their leadership abilities? And I think the most important thing is after this is making sure that, and one of the things we're really talking about is how do we keep people engaged? It's not about coming on one time on a Friday morning, okay, boom, you're done, go. How do we keep keeping those people engaged and finding opportunities for them to continue to refine their skills, to step into leadership? That's a big question we look at with our leadership programs that we have at the CEP as well, is let's make sure that we're funneling these people into ways to use these leadership skills that we've been investing in them.
Kevin Shealy, he's the CEO of the CEP and president. CEO and president, is that correct? I think this time's right. Mark Cummins, he's a pastor of the Dr. Mark Cummins. You never use that word, doctor, do you? Dr. Mark Cummins.
Just a guy named Mark.
Sounds good, though. Dr. Mark. Marketing, it's a little thing. Church of Hope. Teaming up with the private sector and the, and I guess you call it the religious sector. I'm not sure what you call it, but I don't like the word religious, and you don't either. But
I don't
anyway,
either.
let's say the church.
Faith-based.
Faith-based. And here's the question. We only have time just a couple minutes right now, but, where are the leaders going to come from? One of the problems we've got in politics right now is such polarization that half the people aren't going to follow you no matter what happens. The great, statesmen or stateswomen, or whoever they are, we don't seem to be able to have those anymore. We don't have the ones who can inspire and lead. It's always about one party or the other. Where do they come from? In about 30 seconds apiece, which you give me, and we'll come back to this.
Just 30 seconds. Here
we're going to tease this. This is called a tease.
I got a clock, by the way, over here. Time.
We're going to tease it. We're going to just throw it out there as just something. Then we'll talk about it and justify it on the other side of the break. This is how radio works. You don't have these when you preach. You don't have to worry about this. I have to go. I have a clock I have to follow. You just go.
I think the difference that Kevin was saying earlier that he has seen in the shift is from telling to asking. Right now, our culture, we sit across from the table politically, religiously, and we tell the other person what we want them to know. When you begin to ask a question, the flip side, you've got to listen. And that connects us. Asking questions connects us. telling somebody, it disconnects us.
And I want you to give an example of that when we come back. And Kevin, what do you think?
You know, I think Mark's right. I think part of it is we forget our history. And I'm a big history buff. It's no more polarized now. We can go back to a number of different times throughout our history. Our founding fathers, we want to think that they were a group that all got along and all agreed. We don't know what polarized is. Go back and look. You want to find some polarization, some personal attacks, mean-spirited. Go look at our founding fathers. Yet I think leadership is about influence. It's about persistence. And it was about people who'd really had leadership. If you look at those history, those founding fathers had leadership ingrained in them from early age. They were really taught, and that leadership skill refined. So, they understood how to go be a leader. That didn't mean it didn't get ugly along the way, but they understood how to go be a leader, and I think that's what we have to do today.
Since I can pull this on you, I'm going to pull age card on you and to say to you, I can tell you, in my lifetime, I've seen it change.
Oh, yeah.
And it's more polarized than it's ever been, because then you may have government heads fighting with each other. You may have congressmen fighting, but the communities are divided. That's the thing. It's not just, it's communities are divided.
I would argue it's cyclical, that if you look at the long cycle.
I'm not saying it's not cyclical. We happen to be in a down cycle. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And this is the time. And so you got to give me names of one leader you think is somebody local or national. We come back. Give me a name of an example of a kind of person you think, well, this is a leader and why. All right. And then I'm going to get into the specifics of L2 Learning League coming up Friday, October 10th. More on that on the other side of Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The Supreme Court opts out of the gay marriage debate, paving the way for same-sex couples to say I do.
Same-sex couples in Virginia, Wisconsin, Indiana, Utah, and Oklahoma can all wed, the U.S. Supreme Court keeping in place rulings that struck down same-sex marriage bans in those states and 6 others. Supporters of those bans, like John Eastman with the National Organization for Marriage, calls the court decision bizarre.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern. The White House tries to calm fears surrounding Ebola.
The United States continues to be assessing and reassessing the procedures that are in place to safeguard the traveling public around the globe, but also the American public here at home.
Spokesman Josh Earnest. Meanwhile, victim Thomas Duncan remains critical at a Dallas hospital. ISIS raises its flag over a portion of the Turkish-Syrian border town of Kobani. The Turks say NATO has a defense plan in place if attacked. Fox News, we report, you decide.
No!
packed your family of 8 in a 5-person car. Packed a week's worth of groceries into one bag. And when your wife says the dishwasher's full, you just laugh. But are you up for the challenge when there's 20% off on the line? Pick up our exclusive 5-gallon Napa Camo Bucket for just $2.99. Then get 20% off all the stuff you can fit in it. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Back to Voice of Ocala. Kevin Shealy from the CP and Mark Cummings from Church of Hope getting together, planning out. Boy, we should have had the microphones on during the break. It was really good stuff. This L2, let's get this out of the way right now so people know again. L2, Learn to Lead, Friday, October 10th. The doors open at 8:30.
8:30.
It's 9. It starts at 9, goes 12:30. Is that what it is?
9, 12:30.
And speakers, we got John Maxwell, who is a world-famous author and describe John Maxwell besides that.
Many have labeled John as really the guru of leadership. You're asking the question about leadership. John's books are used over and over in training and developing leaders. So John will be speaking twice. Then also John has invited Linda Kaplan-Thaler. Most people will know her from her marketing genius with Aflac. It was her idea to put the duck in Aflac. And so she is very inspiring, marketing driven. She's going to talk about grit. How do you stay in the game when you want to throw in the towel? That grit that you just go after that next idea. Then also Tim Sanders, who was the chief creation officer at Yahoo, and so he's just a creation genius. Some have said, tongue-in-cheek, that if God was going to recreate the world, he would call Tim to ask him to help him along the way. So doors open at 8:30, from 9 to 12:30. The CEP's putting on a breakfast for us. We'll have coffee, water. It's going to be a really just informational, inspiring time. You can go to www.leadocala.com and register yourself, your team. We have over 400 already registered.
That's free.
And it's no cost. Let's be sure about this. There was a cost to the conference, but it's been paid for. All the workbooks have been bought. So it's going to be something that you would want to take your team to. It's a gift.
There you go. And so, again, why don't you tell me where Church of Hope is? So those
Church of Hope, 3233 Southeast Mary Camp Road, right next to Scramble's Restaurant. And I look forward to everybody there on Friday.
Yeah. All right, so now here's the question on the table from the last segment. We had so many, I can't remember. But and one tiny comment talking about people who used to be able to lead. One of the things I hear, this is off subject a little bit, the brain drain, the people who retired in the big companies, and they're being called back now because they have this experience and this knowledge, and they don't have it. I think that really part of that is leadership, in my opinion. It's not just the brain drain; it's a lack of the leadership. That's just a thought about a side note. But anyway, we asked the question: is name me somebody you think is a good leader? Could be local, could be national, could be international, or someone that you would be inspired that would influence you. Okay, and then we'll talk about things we were discussing during the break, which I found very interesting.
Excellent. As soon as you said that, this person came to mind locally, and as I think about Mark talking about Maxwell's description of leadership, which is influence, to me, in my experience here, a local leader, probably one of the very best we have, dear friend of mine, chairman of my board, Doug Cohn. Doug is a leader, and he leads by influence. Doug has no fear of asking tough questions. He's willing to take the risk. He's willing to use his influence to help lead and to get things done. And I think Doug is a fantastic local example of a leader who really was focused on his business, and now he's really thinking about how do I invest back in my community? How do I lead my community, and really using his ability to influence for that.
Yeah, and I don't know Doug, but when I listen to Kevin talk, a leader has to lead from a place of great security. You have to know who you are. There's no uploaded agenda. There's not something that you're trying to manipulate an outcome. You start from a perspective of how can I help this other person? How can I help my church? How can I help my community? How do I help my family? There are single moms who are waking up today and they are influencing. Their names might never be known like Doug Cohn, but they're raising up that next generation, which you heard Kevin say earlier about taking the time to develop. You talk about the brain drain and this gap, and we're calling leaders back. Well, I guess on one hand, that's a compliment to who they are. But on the other hand, is there success without a successor? Isn't a part of leadership and really being successful in a legacy is raising up somebody who can be better than you? That's what I think about. Often some of the best leaders, we don't know their names because they've raised up somebody else. And so leadership development is, yes, me leading, me growing personally, but how am I reaching back and helping somebody behind me? Mentoring, absolutely. I think I said this to you before. My daughters are 23 and 21. And what I hear them often say, and here's the context. The context would be in church world. Emily is in Las Vegas. She works at a church that has over 20,000 on a weekend. And Katie is on staff there, and she's an intern at Saddleback Church where they have 36-some thousand. And here's what they're telling me, even these big churches. Dad, I would rather have a mentor come alongside me and show me and grow me than a sage on the stage. That idea of just this, personality type who's up front and saying how it should be. It takes real time and real energy, and leadership is coming alongside of that somebody. So if it's a Doug Cohn in a role that's well known, or it's a single mom, or it's a teacher who's in elementary school right now and is pouring in and helping a child who isn't real confident in how to read, but is influencing them to take that next step, that is leadership.
Showing and not telling can be it, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, Mark, that's exactly as we were talking about earlier. It used to be that expectation that you were going to help mentor those behind you. And I think that kind of got lost. We've lost that. We've been talking about football coaches and basketball coaches, but if we think about the most successful in that profession, look at their coaching tree. Who have they mentored behind them? I have my biases. I'm a Patino fan, but man, if you look at the coaches he's mentored, who are now successful head coaches, including one just up the road here in Gainesville, it's about mentoring. And I think that leadership, that influence, and I think we lost that in so many of our other areas about helping to mentor, to help lead that someone else to come behind you. And I think that's what we really have to focus back on in leadership, in our businesses, in our community, throughout.
And that's why this is a shared event. I realize not everybody is a person of faith. But if you look at churches,
it's not about hitting you on the head with faith.
No, exactly. But churches, we have limped terribly in this. You look at churches in our community or other communities where there's been a high-profile, successful pastor, priest, rabbi, and then he or she leaves. I mean, you watch often that church people leave, they go someplace else, they bring somebody else, he's not how he was. And so in the church world, in faith-based worlds, we've not done this leadership development well. And here's the tension in that. Like our leader, like from my perspective, the greatest leader that there ever was, his name was Jesus. And he trained 12. And one of them was a traitor. The other 11 turned the world upside down. To this very day, where on this continent, people believe the story that took place thousands of years ago in a far distant region. And it was leadership development. Jesus building those disciples building into other disciples. Matter of fact, the only thing that Jesus ever said that a church is supposed to do is to make disciples. Not have slick music, not have cool buildings, not disciple people. Leadership development. It's business and it's faith. It's community coming together to make our city a great place to keep learning, leading, and living.
Asking great questions, and Kevin, he kind of didn't like my question I asked her all ago. I was 20 years old when I asked the question. What about that?
Well, because the question that you're asking about leaders and naming that leader, it's still thinking top down, that there's this person up here that we find, and if we can find this magic bullet, this secret sauce, everybody wants a shortcut. I know on Thanksgiving, it doesn't taste best coming out of a microwave. It's a slow cooked process. Leadership isn't something that develops over a night.
Yeah, but how can I be inspired if I don't know what the leader is? I mean, I got to follow somebody, right? There's a void there. I mean, you hear stories now about kids going to join ISIS. Why would they do that? I mean, obviously, look, there's a void in their life somewhere.
Because I will tell you something, it's a whole lot more than inspiration. Inspiration is like breakfast sugar cereal. It tastes really good, but it wears off fast. People are looking to be a part of something bigger than themselves, rather it be something evil like ISIS or something great in volunteering in our community. People want to be bigger than themselves. And what you heard Kevin say about Doug didn't have a problem challenging people. We often think leadership is kind of coddling people. Leadership is challenging people to be better. And
by the way, Doug Cullen, I want to say, stepped in to breach a time when we needed somebody in this community. He isn't a good example of someone who stepped up when we really had during our most difficult times. So I want to just put that in there. Go ahead, Kevin. You get the.
And I was going to say, and I'll disagree with Mark here some. I think inspiration is part of influence. I think influence takes lots of different forms and factors, and how people are moved, how they're led. And your question is, too, buddy, who am I going to follow? Well, that may mean if you're not sure who to follow, maybe you're the one that needs to be doing the leading. I think we oftentimes are looking for someone else to lead, and it's about stepping up. Mark talked about that security, that the leader has to feel secure in themselves because there's risk. Leadership is risk. And so, having people to be secure, to take that risk, to step out and say, I think, I have some ideas on this. I have some ways that I think we can address this or look at this or talk about this.
Yeah, inspiration, I'm not discounting it, but here's the deal. If somebody has to always have an external stimuli for them to be moved to action, as soon as that external stimuli is gone, they lose their inspiration.
Right, exactly.
We've got to get on the inside and challenge them. So it begins with external inspiration, but then we touch that character that's on the inside.
Yeah, we got 10 seconds apiece. What do we hope to accomplish here?
I hope this is a great step to providing great leadership insight to 450 of our business community.
We hope to say thank you to our business community for their generosity and for this be a day that we can partner with them for they can discover how much more that they can be as a company.
I think it's a great opportunity for people to come and learn about leading. And once again, it's called L2 Learn Lead. You go to the website, www.leadocala.com, L-E-A-D, Lead Ocala will be led too, I guess, Ocala. And it's a Church of Hope. It starts 8:30 Friday. It's free. Get a breakfast. And also at 9 o'clock to 12:30, some terrific speakers, including John Maxwell and Kevin Sheely, Mark Cummins. Nice job. Much success on Friday. I'll be out of town. I know it'll be great.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Forward to it.
Take a break. Come back, wrap it up with our tweets and quotes right here in the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. To get your quote, please call us at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
right, thanks to Mark Cummings and Kevin Shelley. Interesting discussion about leadership.
Those are two guys that'll get you stimulated and get you fired up to do something.
Well, I mean, it's really it's the essence of what we're about in our community right now.
What's the website again, real quick? I'm gonna go sign up for it right now.
LeadOcala.com.
LeadOcala.com.
Yeah, let me give you the exact. Did you get one of the cards?
I
There's
did
a
not.
bunch of them right here.
Here it is, right here. L2, learn, lead.
Yes, it's LeadOcala.com. That's all it is.
I'm registering right now.
Yeah, it's free, and you get plus you find out it's free breakfast. That's why you're going to do that. So
you figured that out, didn't
you?
I
figured it out. Yeah. Before we go, tweets and quotes. Rachel Barbo will be up with us next hour, and she covers the ACC. She's sideline. She's also from Alabama. Has some thoughts about Alabama and Auburn, the huge game. You thought last weekend was the only big game? So you got more coming your way. What do you hear about the games we got coming up this weekend? And I think Saturday was arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Saturday for college football I can ever remember. That goes back a long time. So next hour, we'll tell you all about it. Like Mark Cummings said, how you going to get all that in 1 hour? That's true. A lot to talk about in sports, including Treon Harris, who's been suspended from the team after being accused of sexual misconduct. Okay, let's go with go out with our tweets and quotes. And I hear you. I'm coming. Oh, where are my tweets and quotes? Well, now that I said that, Tom, I have to find it. I'm looking. All right, number one, sweat is what happens when you're fat as crying. Sports motivation.
Boy, mine cries a lot.
Oh, mine does too. Number two, you only have so much emotional energy. Boy, I agree with this. You only have so much emotional energy each day. Don't allow yourself to spend it on things that don't matter. Joel Osteen. That is so true. So true. And finally, this comes from the great Mae West. I generally avoid temptation unless I can't resist it. I always wonder if Mae West saw all those things, It's like Einstein, all those.
Yeah, Mae West said a lot, though.
She said a lot. All right, next hour, all about college football. SEC dishes out some fines to a couple of SEC teams.
Well, they needed to, the way people storm the field. Act like you've been there before.
What do you hear the top 10? Some unfamiliar names in there. All coming up next on Buddy's Sports Page. Next, right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Being the Culligan Man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan Man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at thebriggslawfirm.com or call us at 671-4600.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need
too.
my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Karen McHugh. The president weighs in on precautions being taken to protect the U.S. from the spread of Ebola.
As I said from the start of this outbreak, I consider this a top national security priority.
Meanwhile, a drug normally used on smallpox patients is being administered to Texas Ebola victim Thomas Duncan. Officials say it's easier to do such things here instead of West Africa.
They don't have the modern healthcare system that we have here in the United States.
State Health Commissioner David Lakey, Duncan's condition is critical. Gay couples can now wed in 30 out of 50 states following the Supreme Court's lead.
The U.S. Supreme Court leaves in place federal appeals court ruling striking down same-sex marriage bans in 5 states immediately and eventually 6 other states.
This entire thing has proceeded in such a lawless way.
John Eastman with the National Organization for Marriage wants an amendment to the federal constitution prohibiting same-sex marriage.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. This is a Fox News Alert.
You've packed your family of 8 in a 5-person car, packed a week's worth of groceries into one bag, and when your wife says the dishwasher's full, you just laugh. But are you up for the challenge when there's 20% off on the line? Pick up our exclusive 5-gallon Napa Camo bucket for just $2.99. Then get 20% off all the stuff you can fit in it. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game. Like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
How much time? 30? 30 seconds? I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to a Monday edition of Buddy Sports Page. Glad to have you on this day after a tumultuous weekend. One of the great Saturdays in the history of college football. We got lots to talk about. We have to move some of our guests around today. We've had that kind of day today. Rachel Barbaro was scheduled to be on this for the day, but can't be on until tomorrow. And she'll be joining us then as we move toward the big weekend for football. We'll also have trying to get Philip Marshall who covers the Auburn Tigers. Huge game, Auburn and Mississippi State. And Chris Price, who used to be on Channel 20 in Gainesville, now in Baton Rouge, who covers the LSU Tigers. He's scheduled for Wednesday. And, of course, Terry Bradshaw coming up on Wednesday for the Terry Bradshaw football show live version. Meanwhile, there's lots of news in Gainesville. And let's go to Tom Schmitz in the news desk now to update us on the situation with Treon Harris.
As you know, earlier this afternoon, Buddy, the news broke that Treon Harris is under investigation for a sexual assault charge that happened sometime early Sunday morning at a on-campus housing place. Huntley Johnson, who represents Treon, this is an update of that story. Huntley Johnson, the attorney representing Treon Harris, said he would be surprised if charges are ever filed against the freshman who was being investigated for the assault. Johnson said he was hopeful when the investigation was completed there would not be an arrest. A source familiar with the situation has said the evidence is shaky at best and has labeled it as a he said, she said. The UF Police Department has investigated, and the Gainesville Police Department is assisting in collection of analysis of physical evidence. Harris is being accused of sexually assaulting a female student, like I said, early Sunday morning in a residence hall on the U.S. campus. A source close to the investigation speaking to Florida Today confirmed that it could take several weeks. Harrison is suspended from all team activities indefinitely. Florida head coach Will Muschamp postponed his regularly scheduled press conference Monday. Harris is a freshman from Booker T High School in Miami. He's led Florida to come behind win 10-9 against Tennessee on Saturday. The school issued a statement that there are limitations to what it can say during an investigation of this type. But we have no tolerance for sexual assault at our campus, as President Bernie Manchin said in a statement. The university is committed to providing a safe and inclusive environment for every member of the U.S. community. We must strive to protect all our students from sexual assault or harassment and do everything in our power to promote a safe learning environment. So, Treon Harris under investigation for sexual assault, but sources close to the investigation said that the evidence was shaky at best and labeled it as a he said, she said. Arizona Cardinal running back Jonathan Dwyer has pled not guilty on Monday to aggravated assault after being accused of assaulting his wife during 2 arguments at their Phoenix apartment. Dwyer entered the not guilty plea to felony and 8 misdemeanors, including assault, at a brief arraignment in Maricopa County. Investigators have said Dwyer broke his wife's nose with a headbutt and then next day punched her and threw a shoe at his 17-month-old son. But Dwyer pleads not guilty. Drake and Duvall to undergo surgery. Alabama tailback Kenyon Drake has had surgery to repair a broken left leg and is likely out for the season. If you saw this injury, it was horrific. And he was screaming. You could hear him screaming on the sideline. Crimson Tide coach Nick Saban said Monday it could be 8 to 10 weeks before Drake can even start trying to work his way back. Derrick Henry sustained a similar injury in spring of 2013. Drake had run for 112 yards and a team-leading 4 touchdowns. He also had 105 yards and 2 scores on 5 receptions. Saban said also linebacker Denzel Duvall had surgery for an ankle injury, but could return in about 3 or 4 weeks. So Alabama down 2. And finally, Mississippi safety Trey Elston has been suspended for the first half of Saturday's game against Texas A&M after kicking Alabama running back Kenyon Drake following a play during last weekend's game. Ole Miss coach Hugh Freeze announced the suspension on Monday afternoon during a press conference. Southeastern Conference official Chuck Dunlap said in an email that the conference will take no further action. Freeze said Elston made a bad decision on the play, and that's not the way we want to do things.
Yeah, that was Freeze's idea. He went ahead and got proactive, the same way the University of Florida did on the Treon Harris situation, and the announcement coming out of the president's office, President Bernie Manchin, announcing they were going to suspend him until they were able to find out what happened on Saturday night with the incident with the young woman. So we'll follow that closely. The ratings are in, the polls are in, and we'll talk about that. I have a lot of thoughts about the weekend, which we'll discuss. Wow, LSU getting beat 41-7. That was kind of a shocker. Didn't see that one coming. Also, we'll talk about the success of Mississippi State. What does this do to Dan Mullen? He's now moved to the top of the list, say for a place like Florida, if in fact Will Muschamp doesn't hang on to his job. By the way, he can thank Treon Harris for saving his job on Saturday, something I tweeted during the game. And also, we'll take a look at, you thought it was over? We got more great games this weekend. Just keeps on going, keeps on giving. Another great schedule for college football coming up again this weekend. It's just almost too much. If you're like me and you're a junkie, I can't get away from the television screen on Saturdays. Thankfully, my wife was out of town because I stuck to it from 9 in the morning to midnight, watching every game, sometimes 2 at a time, as you know, clicking back and forth. If you know how to do that, you can do it pretty well. So many games, such good stuff. The new rankings are out. We'll get to those. We'll talk about the games coming up this weekend. Well, we're going to try to reach Philip Marshall from Undercover Auburn. He's asked if we could call him back a little later on. He's busy and working.
Buddy, Black Sports Online, a website, and now it's been picked up by a couple people. This is Robert Littell from Black Sports Online. This is an update on Treon Harris. He said it looks now like the girlfriend, that this is a girl who Treon Harris cheated on, and these rape allegations may be as a payback.
Yeah, that's all speculation.
No, he's got people that I'm reading the story. I read the story. It's very well researched and everything. He's got people that said they know the girl who said she was going to ask questions to figure out how to do this and everything.
I know, and that might be true, but I hate to speculate in these cases because it always seems like we speculate against the woman. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying I just don't like to draw. I don't like to draw the.
No, well, the story's out there though. It's
I'm sure
picked up now by Bleacher Report.
I'm sure. All right, let's go take a break. Philip Marshall will be next right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source. The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.thebriggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
We are The Source, WOCA.
Back on Buddy Sports Page. Go now to the state of Alabama, where there's one team a lot of people think is the best in the country, at least the second best, and that would be the Auburn Tigers. Philip Marshall's been covering this team for a long time. He covers for Undercover Auburn. Philip, did you think you'd have this kind of year when you signed on this fall?
Well, I thought they would be good, and they are good. If they're great or not, I don't know that. And they got a lot of tests to pass yet to be able to make that claim. But they're good, and I think getting better.
All right, for those of us that didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, let's face it, there was annihilation of the LSU Tigers in progress, and obviously a lot of people had big games. I know you had a couple of receivers that played extremely well. You obviously, your namesake played well at quarterback.
Cousin Nick, as I call him.
Cousin Nick Marshall, of course. I'd claim him too, by the way he's playing right now. And the question seems to be about Auburn's defense, although they didn't give up much to the freshman quarterback, Harris from LSU. Just give us your assessment. Drill down on this Auburn Tigers team as they prepare for one of the biggest games of the year against the newfound sort of darlings of the SEC, Mississippi State.
Boy, I'm telling you, they're playing very well on defense. They're playing the best they've played on defense in a while, and they're playing lots of people. They're, I think, ninth in the nation in scoring defense, and they played very well against LSU. Though you have to qualify that with the fact that LSU was playing a freshman quarterback in a very, very loud environment, and he claimed it didn't have anything to do with it, but he didn't handle it very well. And so that game, it's not the LSU team that we've all become accustomed to. They've got issues, and now they got talent, but they've lost so many guys, and it's a young team. But having said that, Auburn beat them like a really good team should beat a team like that. They took them out early, and it was pretty much over. Nick Marshall played a terrific game, running and throwing. Sammy Coates, who was the go-to guy last year, and who's been hurt ever since the first game, had his first big game. Had, I think, 140 some odd yards passing. Made a phenomenal catch for Auburn's first touchdown. Caught it about the 10-yard line, and then dragged two guys into the end zone with him. And but Auburn's got 5 seniors on the defensive line, and they've got their secondary has been playing very well. They're much more athletic at linebacker than what they've been the last few years. They've got all the pieces. It's just a matter of what they've got ahead of them. I mean, they've got to play both number 3 teams, the number 7 team, and the number 13 team on the road if you're going by the AP poll, and that's a pretty tall order. I don't care who you are.
Mr. Sammy Coates, everybody's been saying, where is he? Because he's really a terrific receiver. And as you say, he's hurt. He showed up big, and what a terrific catch he made there. The question becomes now, which is the real Auburn team? The Auburn team that struggled against a pretty good Kansas State team, I might add. They weren't that bad. Or the team that just blew LSU out. What would you say would be the closest to the accurate profile of the Auburn Tigers?
Well, first, I would say Kansas State's pretty dang good. And they are, and I think they've shown that since. And they could have won that game. Some people have said they should have won it. I wouldn't go that far, but they could have won it. Here's what I think, buddy. I think this team is progressing every week. I think that for the first, we saw the whole kind of deal for the first time Saturday night against LSU of that they were a lot more varied in what they did, threw to a lot more different guys. Opened up the passing game more than they have anytime before this season. But again, it's hard to say. Pat Dye, when he was here years ago, used to have a saying that said who you play has a lot to do with how you look, and I think that's true. So it was a tough, hard-fought win at Kansas State, and they basically blown everybody else out. So. Arkansas played them tough for a half, and then Auburn outscored them 24-0 in the second half. So I don't know that I can really answer that. I believe it's, like I said, I believe it's a good team, and it remains to be seen if it's a great team.
Turns out Arkansas not that bad as we thought, so they got a pretty good running game. Speaking of pretty good, I mean, Mississippi State now, I wasn't a believer until Saturday. I know I talked to Jesse Palmer at SEC Media Days. He was all over Dak Prescott. I'm thinking, okay, this is the second coming of Tim Tebow, the way he was talking about it. By golly, Jesse was pretty close to being right. He was responsible for 5 scores yesterday. This Mississippi State defense is really good. Now we've got one of those games of the century, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Again, we had two in a row, 2 Saturdays in a row between Mississippi State and Auburn, and the winner is going to go right to the top, in my opinion, unless Florida State looks awfully good. I assess this situation. Mississippi State, Dak Prescott, how good are they?
Well, buddy, it's interesting you said what you said, and I guess it's because guys that have been around as long as we have, we've seen lots of Mississippi State teams, and most of them haven't been that good. So I said before last week, I said Ole Miss and Mississippi State has still got to show me, and to their credit, they showed me, and they're both good. And Dak Prescott, He started over here last year in the 3rd game of the season, and that was his first start, and kind of caught Auburn by surprise. They were expecting Tyler Russell to start, and he gave him fits over here last year running the ball. He had 130 some odd yards rushing, and Ellis Johnson, the defense coordinator, said Sunday night, and said he's a lot better than that now. So he's a great player. There's no question about it. And I think Nick Marshall's a great player, and I think that's going to be quite a showdown. I mean, they're different. They're both very much dual threat guys that can beat you running or throwing, but they're different in that Nick is smaller and faster, and Dak is and probably more elusive. And Dak is a big, strong guy that's also fast, and both of them got really strong arms, and whichever defense can figure out a way to slow one of those guys down is probably going to have a leg up.
Or as we saw in the case of Alabama and Ole Miss, a turnover can make a big difference for sure.
In a game like this, it can make every bit of the difference.
Yeah. And by the way, just to give me you've been around, speaking of the guy with gray hair like I am, let's talk about last Saturday. I mean, I was reluctant to call it the greatest day in the history of the SEC. I will say it's one of the best Saturdays I've ever seen. Where do you put this last weekend in terms of, let's just say, in context of how great a Saturday was it?
Yeah, I don't recall another one like it, and it was just kind of strange how the schedule fell. You had 5 teams still unbeaten in the West, and one with 1 loss, and they all played each other, and then the 2 games in Mississippi obviously didn't disappoint. The Mississippi State game wasn't particularly dramatic. I mean, they had it put away, but the Alabama Ole Miss game obviously was a great football game, and then even the Florida Tennessee game. I don't know if I would call it a great football game, but it was a dramatic football game. and then Kentucky, who
I know,
and give Mark Stoops all the credit in the world. He's got those guys playing good, and as discombobulated as the East is, who knows where they might end up.
Exactly. I don't think it's another coach in the country that has blown 14 2-touchdown leads 3 times in the last 4.5 quarters, as South Carolina has. Since the end of the Missouri game, they were up 14 last 8 minutes, and then in the first half and second half against Kentucky has blown 3 2-touchdown leads. Unbelievable.
Anyway, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
I tell you, Steve, however, tried to tell us that they really weren't that good.
Yeah, he was right. That's about that.
Right.
Okay, final thought, Philip Marshall, Undercover Auburn, and thanks for taking the time on a busy day. I know you had things going on. Is that I thought the Iron Bowl would be the game, the rivalry that would give us the number 1 seed for the 14 playoff, and it still might. But who would ever have thought the Egg Bowl might?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been high on my list of possibilities going into the season. As I said, I said they had to show me, and they did. But that's one Saturday. They got a lot more Saturdays to go.
I agree. That's exactly right. Philip Marshall, always a pleasure to talk with you. Right, enjoy your work on Undercover Auburn, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Enjoy it.
All right, Philip Marshall. Cat's been around a little bit. His dad, by the way, was a famous columnist for the Birmingham News. Benny Marshall, a brilliant writer, a guy I think was one of the best I ever read. Phil's more of a plunger. He just gets right in there and grinds away, and always fun to talk. It's good fun to talk to those guys who've been around a little bit. You know, they've seen a few games. They know what's happened, and you can tell his opinion, as was mine, was colored by the fact that no matter how you slice it, it's still Mississippi State. And you have a little bit of a hard time riding that horse all the way through the year. I got to give it up for Dan Mullen. He's got it done. By the same token, can he do it for the rest of the season? Because Tom, as I said last week on Southern Pigskin Tonight show, which we'll have again, by the way, this Thursday at 5 o'clock, is that it's a long season and they play each other. Look at the schedules and see who's got what left. And these teams, these highly ranked teams, are playing each other now. And, boy, the schedule looks awesome. We'll talk about that next. Coming up in just a minute here, we'll give you an example. You get 2 or 3 more really terrific football games this Saturday. And I will be away for the weekend, but I can guarantee you I'll be glued to that television come noon at least. I might be on the beach on Saturday morning. Come noon, I'm going to be in front of the TV and watch some football. Saturday. It will. Now, you going to watch football this Sunday, or you got more honeydews?
No, I'm watching football.
Because the word out was you had honeydew list. And you
I may watch football this Saturday, or I may be going with a friend of mine to a homecoming event this Saturday.
All right, well, we'll see. You never know. Tom Schmitz, uncharacteristic, not in front of the TV most of last Saturday, but anyway, that's good. You're a good guy. Coming up next, more thoughts on this weekend's football after this timeout on Buddy's.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
A Fox News alert. I'm Karen McHugh. The president weighs in on precautions being taken to protect the U.S. from the spread of Ebola.
As I said from the start of this outbreak, I consider this a top national security priority.
Meanwhile, a drug normally used on smallpox patients is being administered to Texas Ebola victim Thomas Duncan. Officials say it's easier to do such things here instead of West Africa.
They don't have the modern healthcare system that we have here in the United States.
State Health Commissioner David Lakey, Duncan's condition is critical. Gay couples can now wed in 30 out of 50 states following the Supreme Court's lead.
The U.S. Supreme Court leaves in place federal appeals court ruling striking down same-sex marriage bans in 5 states immediately and eventually 6 other other states.
This entire thing has proceeded in such a lawless way.
John Eastman with the National Organization for Marriage wants an amendment to the federal constitution prohibiting same-sex marriage.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. This is a Fox News Alert. You've packed your family of 8 in a 5-person car. Packed a week's worth of groceries into one bag. And when your wife says the dishwasher's full, you just laugh. But are you up for the challenge when there's 20% off on the line? Pick up our exclusive 5-gallon Napa Camo bucket for just $2.99. Then get 20% off all the stuff you can fit in it. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Alice?
Yes, George.
I'm royalty at Devon Self-Storage now on Highway 200 across from Hobby Lobby. It says so right here in this letter.
George, I read that letter too, and it's Devon's loyalty rewards. Pay 3 months in advance, get 5% off. Pay 6 months in advance, get 7% off. Pay 12 months in advance and get 10% off.
See, Alice, Devon Self-Storage treats me like royalty. Just call them at 873-0777.
Yes, George, yes.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey.
In here.
Are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike Scott Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike Scott Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand me that.
The only thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page on the Voice of Ocala. Just a quick, in case you missed it, I don't see how you could have, but in case you did, we're going to go over it again. Freshman quarterback Treon Harris has been suspended from all University of Florida Gator team activities indefinitely as University police investigate a sexual assault incident that allegedly occurred on campus early Sunday morning involving the first-year player. The University of Florida student-athlete Treon Harris, this is the statement released by the University. University of Florida student-athlete Treon Harris is accused of sexually assaulting a female student early Monday morning in a residence hall of the UF campus. The University Police Department is investigating the incident, and the UFPD has brought in the Gainesville Police Department to assist in collection and analysis of forensic evidence. The investigation is ongoing, and we do not have an update regarding any charges at this time. So Treon Harris has not been charged. He's not been arrested. He's been accused of sexual assault. He's been investigated.
His attorney said he doesn't know if he will be.
Right. His attorney said.
Huntley Johnson.
Let me try to go back to that. Huntley Johnson. This story from Florida. Florida Today. Huntley Johnson, who's represented hundreds of Gators athletes, said Monday he was hopeful the investigation was complete. There would be no arrest. And a source familiar with the situation told the Florida today, the evidence was shaky at best and labeled it as a he said, she said situation. And now, even further, we can't substantiate but there are even more stories coming out about the motivation the young woman may have had to make these allegations. And we can't speculate on those until we get those confirmed or not confirmed. But there's a lot of peel left on this onion, buddy.
Yeah. And I'll work the story a little bit tonight, too, as well, my sources. By the way, great games, of course. SEC has been just enjoying glory beyond what we thought possible. But they're having a little difficulty with these victories. Like a great setting in the Grove in Ole Miss. There in Knoxville, Mississippi. If you haven't been there, you ought to try it. It looked great on television again. Fans storming the field afterwards, going to cost them $50,000 Ole Miss will pay, because this is not their first offense. So the league will fine them $50,000. In Kentucky, where the Wildcats scored, did you see that game?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't believe it. As I said to Philip Marshall, South Carolina now has blown 2 touchdown leads in the last 8 minutes against Missouri, the first half against Kentucky, and the second half against Kentucky. They've blown those leads, and now they're 3-3. And, of course, this is a huge win for Mark Stoops, and the fans stormed the field. They got fined $25,000. So
I felt for the Alabama players that it was an unsafe situation on the field at Ole Miss. And for Bo Wallace, I felt it was an unsafe situation with kids in ties and blazers picking him up and trying to carry him off the football field.
He didn't seem too fazed by it. He was kind of, I think.
No, he didn't seem fazed by it, but it looked to me to be unsafe.
Sure. Yeah, and so I will say this. Let's be honest. The state of Mississippi has had its downs. It's been maligned for a long time.
Of course.
And it's certainly to do with the segregation part of Mississippi, the ugly things that have happened there over the years, understandably. They haven't had a lot to cheer for. This is the biggest weekend in the history of the state of Mississippi for college football, with both Mississippi State winning big over LSU, although it's not a good LSU team, it's LSU. And for Ole Miss, a game that surprised me. I'm not surprised at that. I'm surprised at Alabama losing that game to Mississippi State. I give Dak Prescott Mississippi. And I give Dak Prescott credit. He's better than I thought he was. He played tremendous. Very good story there about him and his mom earlier on the game day. You probably didn't see it. It's an excellent story about his mom who died of cancer. And in the football team, and I give Dan Mullen credit for having the team ready to play against LSU. So I have to give props to those folks. Ole Miss surprised me more, but if it's not for Christian Jones' fumble on the return, that probably doesn't happen.
Right.
Take advantage. They took advantage of it.
Bo Wallace, football game.
Bo Wallace threw a strike for a touchdown. Beautiful throw. Like we said, we didn't know if it was the good Bo or the bad Bo and so on and so forth. When the young man's on, he's really good. He's not always on, and he sometimes tries to do too much. But great win for Ole Miss. It makes an interesting year. We'll see what happens. We've got more big games coming up this week, and it's going to be phenomenal. So if you didn't hear the scores, I can't imagine you didn't. Georgia won big over Vanderbilt, 44-17. As you know, 41-7. Auburn over LSU. You heard Philip Marshall. South Carolina losing on a tipped pass in the final 2-3 minutes of the game. Had the ball, 38 all, 25-yard line. A Spurrier team that in most cases marches down the field,
gave it away,
kicks the field goal, wins the game, tipped pass, intercepted. Kentucky returns it for a touchdown. The Wildcats win 45-38. Florida, of course, won 10-9. As Philip Marshall said, it wasn't a good game, but it was interesting. I'd say so. And, of course, Texas A&M getting hammered by Mississippi State in a game that wasn't even as close. It was 48-31. It never was really that close.
No, Texas A&M scored 2 touchdowns late to make it look better.
Yeah, so it wasn't as good as there. So got some big games. As you pointed out, by the way, Kenyon Drake's out for the year. And the big games this week, Tom, college football is the game that just keeps on giving, isn't it?
It is.
It just gets. Now, listen to this lineup this weekend. Tomorrow we'll hear from Rachel Barbaro. Well, she'll tell us about some of these games.
Well, before we get to that, I got a question to ask you. Excuse me. Will Muschamp in his post-game interview on the field.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Said he was glad to make all these fans here disappointed.
Right.
Mark Rice, who we had in here earlier today, him and I were talking, and I think there's some truth to this if Florida fans would admit this, and I want to know if you did it. Mark Rice said the first thing he thought about was you probably just made 80% of the Florida fans disappointed you won that game too. I think if Florida fans are honest, with Tennessee winning 9-0 with about 10 minutes to go, there were a lot of Florida fans pulling for Tennessee to win this football game.
I talked to a prominent member of the athletic board today, okay, who's been a Muschamp supporter all the way through, and even now, although a little less this year. And I said to him, I guess Muschamp saved his job, but he deserved a break. Now, all of a sudden, he says to me, I don't know why he deserves a break. I need a break. I didn't get one. And he's had his opportunities. I'm not so sure he does deserve a break or he ought to be the coach. This guy supported Muschamp all the way through. This is after the win in Tennessee. My opinion of just the way the things ebb and flow in the Gator Nation, I think Muschamp's job was spared Saturday, at least temporarily. A lot of work to be done.
But it's not secure.
Remember this. He's got a 5-game stretch. He got hammered by Alabama. He eked out a win over Tennessee. He's got 3 more hard ones, and then he's got FSU and South Carolina at the end. So, and he can't win 8 games because the first game was canceled.
Right.
So he's not going to win 8. So, well, the question is 6-6 or 7 or 6-5 good enough to keep his job? We'll find out about that. So, all right, here's the games this weekend. We're going to go. France Beard's waiting on us to call him. Auburn, Mississippi State, you heard about that one. You look up these lines and see if we can find them out later on. Auburn, Mississippi State, terrific football game there. I don't even know who I'm going to pick. Probably Auburn, we'll see. A game that just kind of surprises. I mean, we hadn't thought about Alabama, Arkansas. What if Alabama lost again? Wouldn't that be something?
Calm down now. Calm down.
Well, think about it. It's a big game. LSU, Florida, not as big a game, obviously, as it would have been. I think my friend Chris out in Baton Rouge says he thinks it's the first time they've both been unranked since 1989. Long time. So that one has fallen away. Florida State plays at Syracuse. So there's a few of the games for you.
How about this game of Florida, game in the state of Florida, where they're favorites? Central Florida, University of Central Florida, a 3-point favorite against previously until this week, unbeaten BYU.
Got to be over the weekend. That? Yeah, there's a few good ones around. There's other Big Ten games that are good too. There's other games. We'll get into those in a minute. Let's take a break, come back, we'll talk to Fransbury next, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Mayhem is everywhere.
On the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Being the Culligan man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
If you've been hearing about the crowded Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Worth sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Worth. Seating now available.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on her show In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then we'll be speaking to Peter Friedman. He's a social media visionary. He's written a book called The CMO's Social Media Handbook, a step-by-step guide for leading marketing teams in the social media world.
Joe Reichel will be in the studio on damage control. He'll be speaking about disaster restoration, your one-stop solution for damage recovery services.
And then ML Rowland is coming on. She served with the San Bernardino County, California Sheriff's Office for the Bear Valley Search and Rescue, and she's written a book called Murder Off the Beaten Path. It's a search and rescue mystery novel.
Nicole Hayes is a toy expert. She'll be speaking about the hottest holiday hot toy listing, 36 playthings to bring children's imagination to life.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Chance to look at the ratings that obviously FSU holds serve. Auburn second in SAP, Mississippi State third, Ole Miss also, actually Ole Miss tied for third in this particular SAP poll. And you got Baylor fifth, Notre Dame sixth, Alabama seventh, Michigan State eighth, TCU ninth, Arizona 10. Big win by Arizona, big win by TCU over Oklahoma. So it's shaping up now. We've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams left in the SEC in the top 10, and of course they're playing each other. It's going to happen that way. Still, last Saturday, one of the great Saturdays, and as Auburn, as Philip Marshall said, is as good as he can ever remember, and he's been around a while, and this guy's been around a while too, and so have I. And let's ask Franz Beard of FightingGators.com, what about that last Saturday? Was that as good as it gets?
Oh, heavens. What a weekend. 8 undefeated teams lost their first game. The playoff picture is totally scrambled, and I believe that the weekend did one thing. It proved that the SEC probably deserves to have 2 teams in the playoff because those Pac-12 teams are terrible, and let's face it, the Big Ten's not very good, nor is the Big 12.
Absolutely. Franz Beard, of course, the big news is Treon Harris, and these are these stories that it's almost impossible to report on except to say what has taken place. We know what happened. There's been an accusation, not an arrest at this point in time. The quarterback who probably saved Will Muschamp's job on Saturday, freshman Treon Harris, who came in 2 series and scored both times as Florida wins over Tennessee 10-9, was questioned and now been suspended at the University of Florida for accusations of sexual misconduct. What are you hearing from there that we can report on? Because we're staying away from these stories about we've been reading on from various sources and tweeting about what her friend said and so on and so forth, because it's too easy to report rumors on these kind of cases. But what are the facts on the ground there in Gainesville about this case?
Well, here's the thing that the 2 things that perhaps will either work in Treon's favor or against him. One of them is forensic evidence. The other thing is going to be, are there witnesses who can verify that he was with another girl? Now, there's a rumor circulating that this whole thing was made up by a girl that Treon had been seeing because he saw another girl. if that is true, it could be the thing that saves Treon Harris. If it's not true, then he's going to have a tough time explaining his whereabouts. And that's going to leave it up to forensic evidence. They brought in the Gainesville PD forensic evidence team, and they're pretty darn good. And the quicker they can come up with forensic evidence on this, the sooner we'll know, did he do it or did he not? Or is this a case of somebody making a wild accusation for revenge motives or what, or something else?
Well, it's never easy to report these stories. I tend to not side with one or the other. I don't like reporting on speculation on cases like this, but suffice to say, not a happy ending after what happened Saturday. A tremendous finish. And, of course, you're like the rest of us. You're saying as you're watching TV, put him in. Put Treon Harris in the game, because we all knew that Jeff Driscoll, although we both like him and root for him to do well, has not gotten the job done. And you can't deny the fact that when Treon Harris was on the field, things changed all the way around. He got results.
Well, there was definitely a spark. And you have to really be concerned about this because Florida sets up as the best team in the East to win the East. If you look at the schedules and look at what each team has to do, you've got 4 contenders: Florida, Georgia, Missouri, and Kentucky. The schedule breaks best for Florida. And losing Treon Harris, how is that going to affect the Gators going forward? Does it mean that Muschamp moves Will Greer up, goes with a 2-quarterback system there, or does he dumb things down and revert back to 2012 and say, defense and kicking, and whatever we get out of the offense is just going to have to be good enough? It's raised a lot of questions, buddy.
Yeah, I broke down the schedule, and the schedule. If you look at Missouri, they got a lot. They had played one SEC game. That's it. South Carolina's already played 4. There is, however, a little bit of a rough road for Florida. Although the schedule looks a little bit easier now with having to play LSU. and who's a 1-point favorite, and then playing a Missouri team, we're not sure what they are, and also South Carolina, not as good as advertised. So it got a little bit better in that regard. So we have a question coming. We have a question from a text.
Robert texted in. He wanted to talk about. He had a question about Treon Harris. He said he wanted both of you to give your opinion on if the kid hasn't been charged, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? Why has he been dismissed?
Well, I think you err on the side of that now, and I'm in favor of doing that. And I know that's a question we raised, France, in the first hour. If he isn't charged or arrested, will he remain suspended? And I'm not sure about that. That really depends on if there's any evidence or not, France.
Well, I think it's all going to depend on the evidence, and I think Florida did the right thing. Florida does not want to put itself in the position that FSU is in. FSU, because of the way they handle things, they now are facing the potential of a Title IX lawsuit that could cost the school $450 million in federal funding. In this case, you do the right thing, which is you go ahead and suspend it. Maybe it isn't fair to the kid at all, but you know what? You've got to do this because it's more than just one kid involved here. You've got, if it's federal funding, you're like to that amount, and certainly Florida's got more federal funding than FSU ever dreamed about. You could be affecting hundreds of lives and livelihoods if you do the wrong thing, and then maybe Title IX comes in there and you lose your cookie, so to say.
All right, France, we got about 15 seconds for football. Big game, huge game. Mississippi State and Auburn. Give me your take on that right now.
Well, right now it's going to be the winner of this game probably is going to win the SEC West, and the winning quarterback very well may win the Heisman Trophy between Jack Frank out of Mississippi State and Nick Marshall.
All right, thank you, France Beard, FanGator.com. Talk to you later in the week. I want to thank our guests, Mark Cummings and Kevin Sheely. Also, Philip Marshall, undercover Auburn. And you just heard France Beard. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great evening, everybody.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocala, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Saying he considers the possible spread of Ebola a national security threat, the president says he's sure that risk is extremely low here at home.
We've got to make sure that our health workers are informed. We're also going to be working on protocols to do additional passenger screening, both at the source and here in the United States.
President Obama met with his national security team this afternoon. As Ebola victim Thomas Duncan remains critical in a Dallas hospital, that city's mayor says the health of several dozen people who had contact with him is being monitored.
Remember, we take these temperatures every 2 times every day, and we've got 0 symptoms, out there.
Mike Rawlings. The Supreme Court decides to say no to appeals from 5 states looking to prohibit same-sex unions, which essentially clears the way for gay marriages from coast to coast. Right now, it's legal in 30 out of 50 states. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Wow, is that an angry monkey screaming at you? Nope, it's your windshield wipers. And they're literally crying out for you to replace them. Lucky for you, Napa now has 30% off select visibility products. That's 30% off wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. So cut all the monkey business and conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 10/31/14.
What's the secret to great business trips? Choice Hotels, where you'll find everything a business traveler needs, like a generous rewards program. And right now, when you take 2 separate trips at Comfort Inn or any Choice Hotel, you can earn 1 night free. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Free night based on an 8,000-point Choice Privileges reward night at over 1,500 hotels. Valid 9/4/14 through 11/12/14. Requires registration and 2 separate qualifying stays. Other terms and conditions apply. Details at choicehotels.com.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on her show In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then we'll be speaking to Peter Friedman. He's a social media visionary. He's written a book called The CMO's Social Media Handbook, a step-by-step guide for leading marketing.